Have you ever had one of those nights where you do everything right? You get to bed early, you hit that magic 8-hour mark, and you expect to wake up like a superhero. But then, the alarm goes off. It feels like a physical blow. Your eyelids are heavy, your limbs feel like lead, and that first thought in your head isn't, "What will I achieve today?" but "How many hours until I can lie down again?" You drag yourself to the kitchen, reaching for that first cup of coffee just to feel human. By 10 a.m., you're on your second or third cup. By 2 p.m., you hit a wall so hard that your brain feels like it's wrapped in cotton. You're physically present, but mentally, you're a ghost of yourself. Hi, I'm Dr. Ethan Reed. I've spent over 20 years in clinical medicine, helping thousands of patients navigate the complex world of health and recovery. And if there is one thing I've learned in my decades of experience, it's that there is a massive difference between unconsciousness and restorative sleep.
Most people think that because they were asleep for 8 hours, they should be rested. But being knocked out is not the same as being recharged. Think of your brain like a computer. If you just pull the plug, you aren't doing a system update. You're just stopping the fans. For your brain to actually repair itself, it needs to run a specific set of cleanup protocols during deep sleep. If your mind is racing at 2 a.m. about an email you forgot to send, or if you find yourself waking up at 3 a.m. for no reason, your brain never enters those deep healing stages. You aren't just sleepy. You are suffering from systemic exhaustion. In my practice, I've seen a shift. Today, we live in an era of microstress. Every notification, every news headline, every cup of coffee, it's all sending a signal to your brain that you are under attack. To your biology, stress is stress. When this happens, your body stays in a state of sympathetic dominance, the fight or flight mode. This is governed by the HPA axis, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal. When this axis is overstimulated, your body produces cortisol at the wrong times. Instead of a spike in the morning to wake you up, you get a spike at night when you're trying to wind down. This is the tired but wired trap. You are exhausted in your bones, but your nervous system is stuck on high alert. Let's look at the price you're paying. The cognitive decay. Your prefrontal cortex, the logic center, dims down. You stare at a spreadsheet for an hour without progress. The emotional short circuit. Your amygdala, the emotional center of the brain, becomes hyper-reactive. You snap at your spouse or kids because your emotional brake is gone. The metabolic crash. Your body's desperate for energy, so it triggers intense cravings for sugar and fast carbs. You aren't weak-willed. Your brain is literally starving for a quick dopamine hit to stay awake. This leads to weight gain that no diet can fix because the root cause is hormonal, not caloric. Most of us mask this with false energy. We use caffeine to spike adrenaline and maybe a glass of wine or a pill to crash at night. But as a doctor, I have to be blunt. You are borrowing energy from tomorrow to pay for today, and the interest rates are destroying your health. To fix this, we need biological alignment. First, optimize your environment. Cool room, no blue light, no late caffeine. But here is the hard truth. You can have the perfect dark, cold room, but if your internal chemistry is screaming, you will not sleep. Stress is a mineral-hungry process. Every time you feel stressed, your body uses magnesium to neutralize cortisol. It is the master switch that tells your nervous system to move into rest and digest mode. But if you buy a cheap bottle of magnesium oxide at the store, you're only getting about 4% absorption. The rest just leaves your system. For a full recovery, your body needs 7 distinct organic forms. Let's look at what each one does for you. Magnesium chelate. Vital for muscle recovery. If you feel physically restless or have heavy legs at night, this is what your muscles need to relax. Magnesium bisglycinate, the natural Valium. It binds to GABA receptors, telling your racing thoughts to quiet down so you can actually drift off. Magnesium lithreonate, the most high-tech form. It's the only one that effectively penetrates the brain's mitochondria, improving cognitive function and long-term memory. Magnesium taurate. This is for your heart. If you've ever felt your heart pounding when you're trying to fall asleep, your cardiovascular system is likely low on this specific form. Magnesium malate. This form helps with energy production, ATP. It ensures that when you do wake up, your cells actually have the energy they need to function. Magnesium orate helps with structural repair and metabolic health, essential for long-term recovery from burnout. Magnesium citrate supports arterial health and overall absorption levels.
This is why I recommend Magnesium Breakthrough. It is a 100% natural, full-spectrum supplement that combines all 7 of these organic forms. It isn't a drug, it's a nutritional reset. There are no synthetic sedatives and 0 risk of dependency. It's simply giving your body back the tools it needs to finally exit survival mode and enter recovery mode. If you've spent years feeling like a shadow of yourself, know that your body wants to heal. It just needs the building blocks you've been burning through. When you finally refill your mineral tank, you stop falling into bed and start descending into deep, restorative sleep. You wake up with a clear head, a stable mood, and the energy to be the person your family and your career deserve. Stop guessing with single-form supplements that don't work. I've included a link in the description below where you can find Magnesium Breakthrough and read more about the clinical science behind these 7 forms. Take the first step toward reclaiming your energy today. I'm Dr. Ethan Reed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.